This is Ritesh here, and this is the third video for our logistic regression series. And we will start from where we have left in our previous video. We have seen that our goal was at the end of that video was to maximize the sum of this particular value d multiplied by yi, and this is di, where I was the distance of the ith point from the hyperplane that will classify this point. Suppose this is the point and these are the points above and these are the points below. Then d was the distance of the ith point from this line, and yi was the label of this particular point. Okay. So now first let's see what is the equation of di. We have seen it in 2D, but we will see it in nd, and yi is very clear to you, so there is no need to explain this. So now see, for 2D, our equation of line is ax plus by plus c equals to 0. For 3D, we can say ax plus by plus cz plus d equals to 0. For 4D, we can use other alphabets, but what happens when we have 100D? So there is no way to represent using alphabets. How to use? We will go from A to Z, 26 letters is over, then rest 74 dimensions are left. So what we will do? We will start with AB. So this is not the good way. So what we are doing is we will use like this: A1 x1 plus A2 x2 plus A3 x3 and so on an xn, and plus b equals to 0. From now on, we will use this particular notation to represent our hyperplanes, because using this method is not feasible. So from now on we will use this one. So now i will I will introduce you to a next step. This a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus an xn plus b equals to 0. Now these a are the values that we want to calculate, because these x we have to fill it. Anyways, we will see what we have to do with the x's. Now these are called weights, and we represent it using this, a vector. This is a1, this is a2, this is a3, and so on. This is an, and these x we represent using x, and this is x1, this is x2. And just remember that these are the features of a data point. We have talked about mobile phone. This may be the size of the screen, this may be the milliampere of the battery, or this may be the price of the phone, like those. So now, while calculating d, what we have done is we had put the value of the point in the line, when line was ax plus by plus c equals to 0, and when we put x1 comma x2, these were the coordinates of the point, then the equation became ax1 plus by1 plus c equals to 0. Now the what is the equation now? The equation is a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 and so on. Suppose we have a point xi. Where the points are x1, x2 until xn. Now these x1 and x2 and xn are not similar to this, because these are variables. But when we have a particular data point, we will have the fixed value of x1. Suppose we have a data point that is representing a phone, then we will have the screen size of 6 inches. The milliampere is 5000 milliampere battery. The price is suppose 12,000, and uh, and the camera is suppose 24 megapixels. So this is the particular value. This is the data point that we are talking about. When we will put this value here in x or here in x2, then we will get this particular d. So how we have to get this d is we have to place these points, this xi, in this line, and we have to divide by the mod of xi. What is the mod of xi? The mod of xi will be, the mod of this particular line will be a1 square plus a2 square plus a3 square until an square. So this is what we will get here. This is line, sorry for my mistake. This is li. Now let's move ahead. Now see how to form the equation. Now the line is a1 x1 plus a2 x2 until an xn plus b equals to 0. Now w is there. W is a1 a2 until an, and x is there, x1, x2 until xn. Now, if we take the dot product, if we take dot product between these two values, then we will get this, or these two vectors. So how to take dot product is W transpose X. Why W transpose? W transpose will convert this vector into this column vector and we will have this. So what we have to do is multiply this with this, we get a value, multiply this with this, we get a value, multiply this with this, we get a value, and so on. We can multiply element wise. That is a dot product. So when we will take the dot product between these two, we will get the equation of this line. This is the our line, or this is our hyperplane. This is our hyperplane. Now the distance will be W transpose X. Now in place of X, we will use Xi when we put that value in the line. So while putting the value in the line, we will replace this X with Xi and we will multiply with A1 and we will get this equation. And then we will divide with the mod of this W. Why mod of W? Just because mod with W, just because mod of line is A1 square plus A2 square until AN square under root. Okay. Now for our purpose, what we will assume is mod of W is 1, which means that this hyperplane is a unit vector. The hyperplane is a unit vector. And what is unit vector? What is W? Suppose this is our plane. Suppose this is our plane. Then what is W? W is the perpendicular vector to this particular plane. We, are, we all have seen in our class 11 and 12 that W, or the equation of the plane, is always the vector which is perpendicular to the plane. So we will take it as unit vector. Now once this is unit vector, we can simply write D is equals to W transpose X. W transpose X, this is the equation, and Xi will give the distance Di. So when we want to calculate the ith, when we want to calculate the distance of the ith point from the line, we simply have to put this Xi and we have to take the dot product with the weights, and this will give us the distance of this point from this particular line. Okay, I think until this point I have made my point clear. Now what we have is our distance is W transpose Xi. This is Di. Now what was our goal? Our goal was to maximize Di into Yi, and we have to do a summation of I equals to 1 to n, and we have to maximize this. Now instead of this Di, what we can write is this is W transpose Xi and multiplied by Yi. Yi is the label of Xi, and we have to do a summation of 1 to n, and we have to maximize this. So this is our formula. So until this, I think I am clear. Now I will see you in the next video, where we will see what are the points that we have to cover, that we have missed, and what are the anomalies that we will face. So thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next video.